Have got number 23 in pistol shots, and we're nearing the last couple of posts here. We have a thoracic spine mobility drill today using a ball and a stick. The stick part is non-negotiable. The ball size will depend on your level of thoracic mobility currently. So we'll run through a super quick test in case you haven't recognized where you are yet with that, and you can probably find something at home to work with you. If you're at a gym, you've got all of the tools that are available for you to kind of size where you are. Okay, so we are going to take what I consider the mid-level portion and start giving you some modifications for the intensity going up and down from this size. So if you have one of these size exercise balls, great. If not, don't worry about it. I'm just going to show you here first. Okay, so this size, like I said, is the mid size, and here is my stick. Okay, now if you're not sure exactly where you are, you have no idea what I'm talking about with the T-spine mobility, we've done shown this test several times with just testing to make sure you don't have rounded shoulders. A quick and dirty test for yourself, which is to stand upright nice and tall with your hands facing forward, and then just relax your arms. So if you find that your thumbs are pointing straight ahead like mine, you're fine. You still want to do maintenance. And then if you find that your thumbs are pointing inward, that indicates a forward shoulder posture. The other one, if you're fine there and you want to kind of test to see where you are with your T-spine mobility, is to simply lay down. Okay, the most important part here is that when you lay down, you want to make sure that your lower back is pressed to the floor and remains pressed to the floor, meaning you don't want to be able to stick your fingers underneath, and you certainly don't want to find yourself arching and getting that space underneath. So engage your abs to press the lower back down to the floor. Once you're there, you want to keep that sensation throughout. Just extend your arms overhead and then draw the straight extended arms to the back. Okay, so if you could touch your hands to the floor without causing an arch or lifting up or doing anything funny with the lower back, then you're probably fine in terms of just wanting to focus on maintenance. But if you find that you cannot keep your arms straight, okay, and you're going like this, or you're trying to keep your arms straight but then you're arching through the lower back, then you do want to work on the corrective side before the maintenance side, right? So all right, the reason why we use the stick and why the stick is non-negotiable is that when you go over over your ball, it's very easy to cheat your way over to extend over that, okay, and with your lower back still as if you're pressing it. So you kind of want to just do a slight posterior tilt to your pelvis. So it's kind of easy to just sort of bend the arms and just let it loose. Now that is an incredible feeling stretch regardless, but we want to actually focus on increasing the mobility through the spine. So if we hold this stick and we keep our arms extended and hold it tight, so wide enough so that it could clear your head, okay? Then that will force you to really just to work on that upper spine mobility there and just hold it. You can let your head drop, okay, just to make sure that your arms remain straight, and just hold that for 2 minutes, okay? So the other reason why this size ball is good is that if you use a smaller ball or a foam roller, it makes me uncomfortable without watching you, because it's easy to get it too low and you don't want to be foam rolling your lower back. Okay, so this kind of helps by default with the size, kind of position yourself more easily into the right place. So if you go bigger, all right, you would go something like this. Hopefully not ginormous, all right, because once you go bigger, you also have to have a little bit of a finesse in getting into that position without, you know, having the ball slip out under your back. So do it on a non-slip surface, and be careful as you roll back, okay? So once you are seated, okay, you're gonna end up walking forward, and at some point go ahead and put your hand on the floor for balance, okay, so that the ball stays under your back, okay? So again, keep that posterior arch, and in both positions, notice the hips are, you know, above the floor by way of the size of the ball, okay? So same thing here, and keep back and make sure that you're not arching through the lower back, you're just focused on the upper spine draping over this ball, okay? So hold that. Now, if you want to go harder, okay, I've got a few variations for you. So you could use a smaller ball or a Bosu ball or a actual foam roller, okay? So I'm just gonna use this. So this works well too if you're at home and you just have a child's ball, basketball, anything like that. This will work as well. So same thing, but notice that you could just imagine it. Now at this point, my tailbone will be able to remain on the floor, and I'll remain seated, feet flat on the ground, and then do the same thing, okay? And drape over that. All right, so that would be also for 2 minutes. Here's how you start kicking up the intensity in a big way. First way is to take a loop band. You could also, if you have a long band, you could just tie it together in a loop, and you want to put your forearm through it, and there should be enough tension so that when you press out to open it, it takes a little bit of effort, okay? So you're gonna do the same thing holding the stick, but you're also going to have this additional tension here as you're pressing out slightly against this band to force also your arms to remain locked, okay? This will really kick up that intensity because you have to open it up a little bit more, or keep the arms extended a little bit more and force your arms to stay in position there, okay? So this will kick it up a lot. Now, to kick it up even more, and you could do the next one I'm going to show you with or without the band. So remember, using the band just kicks everything up. So, I don't have the setup exactly, but I'm going to show you how you could hack this. What you want is a barbell bar that's low on the ground, something heavy enough that you can't lift it. Okay, that's going to remain fixed. What I'm going to use is right here. See here, the treadmill has some room here that I could slip my finger through, and there's even like a ledge, okay? So this one takes a little bit more finesse to set up, but it's worth it, okay? So this is where you would use the band or not. You do not need this stick. You're going to use that barbell or this other immovable object, okay? Perhaps under your sofa, okay? You could probably stick your finger underneath. The height, you know, as long as it could vary, but as long as it's not above your head, okay? So once you get yourself into position here, and again, you might have to rejigger it a little to get that position, then you would force your hand to extend and actually pull on this, right? So that forces you even more. Okay, so I'm going to rejigger my position a little bit so that I could get a little bit of my fingertips on that ledge and basically use that as resistance, okay? And go from there. Again, change your position as you need to. It's worth the setup. Now, if you added the band back to put your arms through, that would kick it up even more, all right? So remember, we need to do corrective first, then your next level will be maintenance, and then your next level will be increasing that mobility. And remember that even if you don't have an excessive forward shoulder position, even if you don't have horrible T-spine mobility, this will help increase it and you could be more productive. Also, at any level, okay, even if you're just draping over and your arms are bent or whatever, it feels great and it's fine for a nice relaxing sort of a stretch and a passive stretch. The way we're doing it is more active, and it's going to actually work on the increase of the mobility. So that T-spine mobility is, of course, part of the pistol requirements, that you're able to keep your spine straight without rounding forward as you get down into a deep squat position. Give it a go.